What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sunday watch list. I am very well aware that I have not dropped a Sunday watch list in 2 weeks, but I'm back to help you guys out with your game plans. And let's just get right into it. I hope everyone's been trading safe. We've been pushing highs, which is pretty crazy. And Friday we had a crazy sell-off. So what's next? Let's get right into it. Economic data wise, we got to double check what's coming up this week. Market is closed on Monday. Today's October 11th. Okay, Monday's closed. Powell, I guess, is speaking on Tuesday. And then we had CPI. Okay, so big week next week, actually. CPI, PPI. Oh, shoot. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff coming up next week. Friday, we got non-farm. Oh, but actually, the government's still shut down. So some of these reports may not even come out due to that. So we have to see, like, that. We're gonna have to see how that plays out. Um, All right, charts wise, like I said, we have just been pushing all-time highs, and the signs of reversal for me were that we had a bearish divergence and a rising wedge, and we failed to make a higher high. So, what is a bearish divergence? For those who do not know, it is when the stock makes a higher high, but the RSI makes a lower high. This in itself is a whole lesson. You can try to look it up. I won't get too deep into it today, but look up bearish and bullish divergences. They're just extra confluences for signs of reversal. Um, but yeah, the main sign that I really saw was that we failed to get above all-time high on Friday. You can see we tried to break above and we did not break above. And then we broke under the most recent higher low, which was this one right here. And you can see once we got under that, that's where I was like, sign a reversal. And I was able to capitalize on this whole move to the downside. But now what is next? What is in store for this upcoming week? These markets are crazy, right? Next thing you know, Trump calls off the tariffs and we're back at all-time highs next week. But this is the type of market conditions we're in. But based off technicals right now, um, what I am seeing is this whole daily candle literally completely wiped out 2 weeks worth of gains. It took us 2 weeks to get from 588 all the way to 615. And in one day we took it all out. So now the levels to really pay attention to is going to be this low here from October or September 25th. You can see that was a big support that gave us a move higher. And that's kind of where we closed on Friday. Below that, yeah, nothing but room to 584. We actually ended up going down there in the after hours and then we bounced. So 584 is the level to watch. Do we break and hold under that? If so, I will look for a move down to 579, 580, and maybe even lower into like 570s if it gets very aggressive. And 575. Okay, but it's all going to depend on where we open up at. There's multiple scenarios that can play out, and I want to be prepared for all of them. So if we open up under this, break in retest, 580. If we open up above, I'm going to be looking for a short opportunity. Where does the market pull back to before we can start shorting this? And I'm thinking 602, 603 area. If it was a resistance, support. And if it can pull back, it's a far pullback. If it gets all the way up there, that's a far pullback, which is concerning. Um, could also watch this 588, 580, 590s. How do we react around this area? But all I'm looking for here is a reject level. And up there is very far away. So before that, maybe even 596. I'll look for a reject at 596 or or up here. Like I said, this one's far away, but maybe 596. It's gonna be interesting. Maybe we can even just consolidate, trap some shorts, or depends where we open up at, Enough. Moving forward though, so this video is not too long. SPY, very similar, like one candle wiped out 2 weeks. The key level of demand was here at 654 on September 25th also. That gave us a major bounce to the upside. We reversed with a bearish divergence on the daily, also a rising wedge. And so what I will look for now is look at where we bounced off of on Friday's low or like the after hours. 647. So that level we must keep on full watch. Okay, it was resistance, now it's support, and now it's support again. It all depends on where we open up at. If we open up anywhere nearby, you look for a bounce or a break and retest under for room to 642. If we open up above 655, You can look for a move into 661 to the upside. That's very possible. Okay. That would be, I'd be in and out of that fast before the sellers try to step back in. Where I think the sellers can step back in would be like 661, 663, maybe even 667. It all depends where we open up at. We could open up lower, could open up higher. Depending on where we open up at, those will be the levels that I'm gonna. But these are all my levels on SPY. Okay, and where I think we could be headed towards, or just any level of interest for me. That's SPY QQ. Let's get into some individual names. Tesla. Tesla had a Head and Shoulders, and we have a left shoulder. We got a head, and then we got a right shoulder, and then we got this neckline here around 420, 417, and we have broken under. The retest of the neckline is what I'll look for. 418, maybe even 425. Anywhere in that area, I want to see it slow down, see the seller step back in, and we can take it back to 402 and 385s. Those are the next levels to the downside. We are making lower high, lower high, lower high. And I want to follow that direction. Just look for a rejection. It's kind of like if it was like I'm gonna flip it upside down. It's kind of like if it was a bullish inverse. All I would look for is a pullback for a move higher, but that's not the case. It's a move lower. So I don't want to confuse you guys. Look for a reject. That's what I'll be looking for. Any reclaims back above, which is very possible. It's a whole different game plan. Next up, we've got Apple. Apple was a beautiful setup too because we failed to break all-time highs at 260. We had a rising wedge and a bearish divergence, failure to make a higher high, taking out the higher lows at 251, and we broke under that. Guess what? We went all the way down to the next resistance, which was 240, 240, and now it's support. So pullback for a rejection is 251. If it Apple pulls back to 251 and fails, I'll look for a reject back down or under 240. So these are the scenarios. A rejection here or a break and retest under here. That's my game plan for Apple. A lot of names are relatively weak. It's going to be, you're going to have to do your homework to really find that setup, but kind of going through it with you guys here. Tesla and Apple so far are some of my top watches. Next up, we've got Meta. Meta's at a major, major level of demand, which is 690. You guys can see that every time we step into 690, we get a major bounce, major bounce, major bounce. And here we are trying to hold up again if we fail to hold 690. It is a straight $10 move down to 680, 678. So based off that daily candle, it's an evening star and it looks weak. So the fact that a lot of individual names are showing weakness, I do see like another move in the market, like on SPY and Qs happening if these names continue to show weakness. So it's good for me. I'm in some swings. Next up, we've got NVIDIA, major evening star also, failed to make a higher high. And now we're back at a major area, which is this previous all-time high, which was 184. Look how many touches and how respected this is. Rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, retested 7, 8. And now we broke back under. If we can stay under that, or even if it reclaims it, this is what will happen. If it reclaims this 184 and shows strength above, it will go back into 190. And that's a beautiful move to catch to the upside before a quick scalp, before those sellers try to step back in. So it's very possible that we do get some upside before another move down. It all depends where we open up at. If we open up any lower, I'm not looking for that. Just look at the next levels of support to the downside. So that's what I'm saying. It all depends where we open up at on Tuesday. AMD, I don't want to be the first person to try to, I don't want to try to short this. Yes, it has a big gap fill to the downside, but AMD is a stronger name. It's doesn't look the best right now, but I'm gonna try to stay away from that. Amazon, uh, this is a major evening star. We're breaking a key level of support of 216. Under 216 is 211. This is a great setup too. For rejections, I'll try to find a reject level also. Um, oh, we're already under that. Oh, we already did that in the after hours. Shoot, okay. Um, yeah, under that 211, right? 208. We'll keep eye on that. But so far, Tesla and Apple and Nvidia and Meta are probably a little bit like above Amazon right now. But we have to see. For now, those are going to be some of my top watches. PLTR is rejecting all-time highs and it has a beautiful head and shoulders. This is going to be a beautiful neckline here. This is also top watch here under 170. PLTR under 170, nothing but room back down into 164. So under 170, 164, definitely expecting that. The daily chart looks very bearish. It's a head and shoulders, and even the weekly chart has some rejections. I'm expecting some downside. Let's see how long this lasts, but keep some capital to the side to, buy some of these dip opportunities. I do think this is not going to last long, and I think towards the end of the year, December, maybe even like mid-November. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I do see these dips getting bought up, and you definitely want to be able to capitalize on that. For now, capitalize on the shorts, recycle that money, and put it back into long term. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video very valuable. Trade safe, and thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great trading week. Peace.